Hey everybody, in this video we're going to be starting to write code in Python and experimenting with expressions. Now, to start this video we're going to open up idle, and if you remember we opened it last tutorial, and just as a refresher, idle allows us to do quick code manipulations while something like Sublime Text allows us to build larger, bigger scale Python files, which will be used in projects. But idle is just think of it like a sandbox to play around and experiment with code. So we're going to open idle. I did so by searching for it and opening it up. You could do the same thing in Windows and a Mac. And now that we're brought to the screen, this is going to be idle right here. I have my notes over here. Let's start diving into it. So Python, it can do many things. Well, let's start off with it using it as a calculator. So Python can handle any type of arithmetic you give it. So if I just type in a bunch of random, I could start off with like this, 4 plus 4. So what I do is I type in 4 plus 4 and then press the enter key. And that'll say, okay, I'm giving you 4 plus 4, I want you to evaluate it, and it'll evaluate to 8. Notice that we have these lines right here. This kind of means that Python is expecting input from us. We're trying to tell it what to evaluate. So if I say 90 plus 5, it's expecting an expression, right, 90 plus 5, and it'll evaluate it and give us a result. So Python doesn't only support addition, it supports subtraction, for example, 90 minus 2. It supports multiplication, 8 times 7, 56. It also supports division, 56 divided by 8. And it also supports, some of the more uglier division that you might see, 56 divided by whatever that number is, and we get some pretty small number. So it can handle really ugly stuff. Say I type in a bunch of keys right here, times divided by that, and wow, look at that, it gave us an answer. This is just an exponent. Whenever you see the letter E, that means you're dealing with a pretty big or pretty small number. E just means times 10 to the power of. So this whole result means that we got 8.33 times 10 to the power of 34, roughly. So Python can handle all your dirty calculations. I mean, you might have a regular calculator that can't even show 2 digits or 10 digits. So Python can really do all your arithmetic needs. Now, we also have some more complicated operations. One, such as the exponent. So if I want to do 2 to the third, I do 2 kind of asterisk symbols instead of 1. Right? So 2 to the third is 8. I can get crazy, do like 19 to the 8th. That's how that works. And for multiplication, we use an asterisk, minus, plus for addition, and subtraction, and then division we just use a slash. So pretty straightforward. The least straightforward operation I'm going to present to you now is called the modulo operation. So let me just demonstrate here by doing 7 modulo 3. So what this does is it's just a remainder function. It says when I divide 7 by 3, what's the remainder? And that's what the modulo function does. So when I divide 7 by 3, I can only fit 3 into 7 twice to get 6, and then I'm going to have a remainder of 1. So we've covered numbers and math. So let's dive into strings. So we might want to represent textual data too. So I can say, hi, my name is Mike. And what I did is I surrounded it in quotes, and I pretty much wrote any text that I normally would, type in like a word processor or texting, and really any text that's not a number. And I said, hi, my name is Mike. I also have string operations. So this whole surrounded by quotes is called a string, but I also can join 2 strings together. Say I want, hi, my name is, well, I don't really know my name, but then I later find out, oh, hey, it was Mike all along. And I could say, hi, my name is, and then later on I put in Mike, and now it says, hi, my name is Mike. So I'm able to add 2, and then this is called string concatenation, 2 strings. Now, you have to keep in mind that numbers are different than strings. So if I say string 5, that's not the same thing as number 5. And likewise, if I try to do an operation between a string and an integer or a number, I'm going to get some error, right? It's going to be all in red text. It's going to be yelling at me, totally not allowed. So keep that in mind. Strings are not numbers, and vice versa. The next operation are going to be kind of data structures that we can use to represent groups of data. So say I want to keep track of a bunch of numbers. Say I want to keep track of 1, 2, and 3. What I can use is a list. And all a list does is it keeps groups of numbers, right? So 1, 2, and 3, I have a list of 1, 2, and 3. Straightforward. And I can also have lists of strings, right? So I could say, hi, my name. I'll just leave it off that, but, oh wait. And then keep in mind, one important lesson is that all lists are separated by commas. So keep that in mind. Now, I can also have, so the benefit of a list in Python is that they are able to be edited. So I can remove an element and add an element, so I can get rid of hi, I can add name. We'll show how to do that in a later episode, but just know that lists are able to be modified. There's something else in Python called a tuple. Now this is going to be a list that can't be modified. So if I have 1, 2, 3, and like that, that'll be a tuple. Now notice the tuple kind of uses a rounded off parentheses, while the list uses square brackets. So tuples are not modifiable. The last kind of data structure that we're going to be talking about is a dictionary. Now a dictionary, all it does is key to value. Think of a dictionary, well, like a dictionary. I give you a word and it gives me a definition. I give you what's called a key and it'll give me what's called a value. So in this case, right here, I have a nice example here. I can create this following dictionary. Actually, hold on, I have to, no, this is one thing to know. Whenever you're copying code, make sure that the quotes are kind of like vertical and not, right, my notepad right here has kind of slanted quotes. You'll always get an error with that. But notice that we're using these squiggly brackets, and we defined a dictionary. So that means that when I give you the word Python, I better get back the definition or the value of a very cool language. And we can see this in action by accessing a dictionary. So to access a dictionary, you can use these square brackets followed by the dictionary definition. And hey, I want the definition of Python. I don't really know what it is. Well, I could specify the key, and I get, hey, a very cool language. So these are kind of the 3 data structures that we're going to be playing around a lot with. Hey, guess what? If we went over a lot and it seems overwhelming, what's a dictionary, what's a list, what's a tuple, we'll definitely go over this. And we have many more videos to go over, and we're going to be using all of this stuff together. So don't feel overwhelmed if you're lost. Rewatch the video. And again, we went over numbers, we went over arithmetic expressions, operations, we went over strings, and we went over basic data structures. We'll be using these a lot, so don't sweat it. Alright guys, see you in the next video.